Boulder, Colorado, 1975. You see Julia. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You're drunk. So what's your major unit? What's your unit? You're pretty. You're pretty, she says coolly. You're not. You are a future hangover. What? You reply, confused. Someone should buy you a cheeseburger, she says. She flags down a waiter, and 1 week later, you're Julia's boyfriend. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There is also an intimidating yet gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. Pick up the beagle and she names him Bucket. Bucket's a good dog. And about a week later you've totally forgotten about the other one. I haven't forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 p.m. and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids, she asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have some, a couple of little idiots, that would be pretty good. In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that, you say. Those kids are going to be screwed up enough. It's probably best their parents are hitched. You say she's absolutely right. 1980. It's a Thursday night and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You get mad. You ignore her. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about her evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man. You look awesome. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town that brings folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she's stressed. You confront the attacker. You scare him away. You reach into your pocket like you've got a gun and threaten to kill him. You manage to scare all three of you. He runs away. Julia asks you to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. 1984. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Agree if she commutes back and forth. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut, but she says that'll be hard. But she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if it's what she wants. She agrees and flies back to Boulder three times each semester. 1985. Julia is sent home from Yale on unpaid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague from borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. She found herself crying in the stairwell. You think maybe you guys should talk to somebody about it? After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She's 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. What'd you say? Not safe for work coming up? What's happening? Oh god! Cover that! Delete it! Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it is kind of nice, but he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to university. You knew it. Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in her class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car into the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Only seen this first half, then the rest blank. Of the game? Some days you get Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love, kinky. After 5 minutes, she gets into a panic believing her dad's at the door. I hate when that happens. You tell her family they are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between them 2 weekly visits from Daniel the nurse. He suggests that Julia would move somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care. It sits with you for a couple of months. You decide to move her to a full-time care facility. Her family agrees with your decision. You had a fantastic place in Boulder and moved her there. You see her every day, then every other day. Thanks for the follow, Sarblitz. You go out to the bar with your old friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, if you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your balls off. You slowly decide not to see your old friends that much. Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it. If you won't see a therapist, you won't. You always really liked Susan. Months go by. Bucket dies. Ah! Jesus! Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. Oh, that's fucking depressing. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, she believes it's because you see her less and less. And seeing her less and less makes her forget you more, you think. Summer's coming up and you see an ad for a job in the paper. I can't read. You take it. That was a slap of a power button.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Who's this bitch?
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
Oh, you can zoom in.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People
Bitch.
take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
Panko.
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so
Yeet.
I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Oh,
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
oh, I guess what's wrong with her? No one back home can stand you.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you. Which, after this brief introduction, is not
Another
a
one of
big
these?
shock.
Ouch. I'll chalk that up to you being tired and grumpy.
Well, I'd better get some sleep then.
One sec. Now it's my turn.
Okay, good night, bye.
See, I don't know anything about you. I say you got fired from your job and have finally decided to write your novel. That's the sort of bullshit reason you'll find a man out in the woods.
Good night.
Welcome to the job.